Hello, this is the Watchdog. Welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Corgeut 3002. Let's start out the wrist check. I'm wearing this Cadison 8053, and Grego's wearing my Amimo 9067. Grego said the last Independence Jones movies did so well that Han Solo is making another one. This time they are looking for a piece of bread that Obi-Wan was eating while the Millennium Falcon was taking them to Alderaan. It's called Independence Jones and the Last Croissant. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in this box. All Corgeut seem to come in this box, and that kind of reminds me of the Tudor clasp. I don't know if that's their intent or not. But here is the watch. Isn't that a nice looking watch? I think they did a good job with it. Looks a lot like an Explorer 2, which is the point, of course. I've had quite a few Corgeuts on my channel. Looking at my order history, I first ordered this watch in January of 2023, but it never arrived, and I had completely forgotten about it until I saw it again recently at a much more affordable price. It is currently $73, which is a darn good price considering what you're getting. This is an homage to the Rolex Explorer 2, which was originally designed not as a GMT watch, but a watch with an additional 24-hour hand, so you would know the time if you were in a cave or the Arctic Circle or anywhere the sun wasn't a reliable indicator of AM/PM. The GMT movement was added later when the thought of wearing a Rolex while exploring a cave became ludicrous. This Corgeut does say GMT on the dial because this watch does feature the NH34 automatic GMT movement that has taken the AliExpress homage world by storm, as they are now able to affordably offer more reliable movements at a reasonable price. This Corgeut comes in one colorway. You have white. Rolex also offers a black dial, but the white is far more popular and is what one thinks of when they think Explorer 2, so Corgeut just did the white version. The watch is 38.8 millimeters at the bezel, but if you look, the case is a little bit bigger, so the case is probably a 40, but it's hard to measure because of the crown guard. It's 48.3 millimeters lug to lug with protruding end links. It's 13.1 millimeters thick if you don't count the Cyclops, and I never do. Has a 20 millimeter lug width that tapers down to 16 at the clasp, and weighs 150 grams on the supplied steel bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel is a fixed steel bezel with the 24-hour markers. And once again, it's fixed because the Explorer 2 was originally designed to have a 24-hour hand, not a GMT hand. And then we have the dial. The dial is white with no sunburst effect. We have the Corgeut name and logo up top, and it's just printed. Then it says GMT automatic water resistant, 100 meters to 330 feet on the bottom. Then we have the applied loomed indices, and they're all Rolex style with the upside down triangle at the 12, batons at the 6 and the 9, and dots everywhere else. And then we have the fence post minute hand, Mercedes hour hand, and lollipop second hand. And then we have the GMT hand, which is orange, which is the same color they use on the actual Rolex. And I think they did a good job with the GMT hand. It looks nice. And then we have a date at the 3 with a Cyclops. And the Cyclops does a good job of magnifying. It just doesn't do a very good job of not reflecting. But then again, my lights are right overhead. So when you're not having bright light on it, it doesn't look near as bad. But at least it magnifies properly. A lot of these Chinese homage watches have a horrible Cyclops, so it's nice to see a good one. A lot of people don't like a Cyclops, but I always say if you're going to have a Cyclops, have a Cyclops. Then we have an unsigned screw-down crown. The thread action is not the best. You feel a lot of resistance when you unthread it, but at least it pops nicely. And then when you go to thread it in, yeah, you can really feel those threads. It's not horrible. It's just not smooth either. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is a flat sapphire, and it must have AR coating because it's doing a really good job of not reflecting. And then we have the case. The case is your basic oyster style case, and it's nice. It's brushed up top, polished on the sides, brushed up, circularly brushed on the bottoms. And I think they did a good job with that. Case looks nice. And then we have the case back. The case back is a plain coin edge. And this is what you would get with the real Rolex. But this isn't a real Rolex, and I'd much rather have a case with slots in it, or a case back with slots in it, so you can use just a normal wrench and not a coin edge opener. And I forgot to check to see what size opener you'll need. Let me go do that real quick. All right, this is totally messed up. Here's a 30.5 millimeter, and it's too big. Won't catch the coin edge. So here's the next size down, the 29.5. And this one's too small. So I'm thinking it needs a 30 millimeter, but I don't know if they make a 30 millimeter. Because they go by half millimeters. So they go to 29.5 to 30.5. I don't think they make a 30 millimeter tool. So that's just annoying. So I can't open the case back with the tools I have. So it would have been nice if they would have made it a normal size. I guess I would have to use one of those stupid balls. Underneath the case back is the NH34 automatic movement. This movement is part of the Seiko group. And it's a 24 joule 3 hertz movement that hand winds, hacks, and has a bidirectional rotor. And they're usually fairly accurate right off the shelf. And this is a collar GMT or an office GMT, not a traveler's GMT. And that means that when you go to set the GMT hand, you move the GMT hand. And it jumps in hour increments. Where a traveler's GMT, you move the hour hand. So you can change the hour without hacking the watch. So it makes it more convenient when you're traveling. But the nice thing about the NH34 is the GMT hand jumps every hour. Where a Ronda 515, which is another very common GMT movement, it's a quartz movement for these watches. It's a smooth GMT movement, so it's a lot harder to set. Here it is on the Timegrapher. As you can see, it's running about 8 seconds slow. It's always disappointing when a hacking movement runs slow, because if you need to set it later on because it drifted, you actually have to move the hands. Where a fast movement, you can just hack it and wait for time to catch up. But still, minus 8 seconds isn't bad. There's no beat error at all, so the line's nice and smooth, and the amplitude seems healthy enough. Then we have the bracelet. The bracelet's a 3-link oyster style. We have solid end links, but they are protruding. And everything is brushed, no polished centers, and I like that. And then we have screw pin adjusters. And these are very similar to Pagani design, where there's no holes on the other end. So if one of these ever gets stuck on you, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it out. And then we have the clasp. Look at that. We have the on-the-fly adjustable clasp. So that's pretty unusual for watching this price range. You just pull it out, and then you can move it to where you want. Then just press it back in. Easy peasy. So that's the nicest thing about this, because normally these oyster style clasp are really a pain to adjust because you have to get a tool in there. So this is completely toolless. So that's great. It's not signed though, but who cares? Here's the watch at my 7.5-inch wrist. It looks nice. It wears nice with the adjustable clasp. You can get the perfect fit. I removed 2 links, but I did move it in a little bit down the clasp. So you should be able to wear this 8.5, I think. But it looks really nice. Here we are in the Lume room. When you have a watch with this many features at such a great price, something has to give. In this case, it is the Lume. As we speed up the time, we see we have green C3 hands, but blue BGW9 indices and GMT hand. Everything is fading fast, and the hands are even going before the indices, except for that GMT hand. It hasn't hardly faded at all, and it looks like it belongs on another watch, but who cares if you can see the GMT hand if you can't see anything else? What do I like about this watch? NH34 powered solid steel watch with sapphire crystal for $73. Has on-the-fly adjustable clasp, and the sapphire crystal hardly reflects. What are my gripes and groans? The coin edge case back seems to be a weird size, and I can't find a tool to fit it. Has very weak lume, and the crown threads have a little bit of resistance in them. It would have been nice if it was a little bit smoother. Do I recommend this watch? Sure, you're getting a ton of watch for the money. So unless good lume is your thing, you should be very happy with this purchase. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Cadison 3002. And be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a small commission, but those tiny commissions do add up. Bye.